Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Rich Buddy live show, Talking Watches. What's going on, everybody? How are you? Why do I sort of hear like an echo? I'm not sure. But anyway, let me double check that. How's everybody going? I think my gain might be up too high here. Okay, that might be better. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing in the watch community? Looks like we have a lot of you folks out there today joining me. Mars, Geezer, Patrick, what's going on? So talk to me, fellows. I sent out some links. This was a surprise. I just decided to do this out of nowhere. Well, don't forget we're in 1080p now. So now you can check me out in high definition. And it's more fun that way. So wristwatch check. What's everybody wearing out there in TV land? I've got my Omega. I'll burn myself here. I've got my vintage Omega 68 Speedmaster, which, you know what, to be honest, it's one of those affairs I'm having with this watch, in the sense that, do I keep having an affair with it, or do I let her go? You ever been in one of those situations? Well, if you haven't, it's kind of a good situation to be in. So, yeah. What's a man to do? When you got a gal keeps pulling at your heartstrings, you end up having, since it's a watch, you can have a few of them, I suppose, and your wife ain't going to be too critical because it's just a watch. So that's where we guys end up in this game. Am I right or am I wrong? So, if your wife says you have too many watches, you tell them, would you rather me have too many dames? I mean, it's the fact of the matter. Would they rather us be into watches? Of course. And let me see what's everybody doing out there. Sea Dweller, James, got your Sea Dweller on. Did you guys realize that Rolex made an announcement today that some kind of a new watch is coming to fruition on September 1st? I think they were giving some clues because the water, the depth, it's coming up from the ocean. So what does that tell you? Submariner, Sea Dweller. Do they have any other submersible watches that are fashioned to be submersible besides the Submariner and the Sea Dweller. So I'm wondering what they're going to come out with. And Tom A, fellow punter in the chat, and I were talking about this today. And we were deciding what could it be? What could it be that they're going to do? And he threw out the notion that they might come up with a steel Oyster Flex Submariner. And then I immediately jumped on that and I said, no, not a steel one, but I agree with you. It's going to be an Oyster Flex Submariner in precious metal. Oyster Flex is only attributed to their precious metal watches. They're not going to kill the precious metal Oyster Flex reference by making a steel reference in that brand. Let me say that better. Let me say that in a better way. Rolex found a way to charge a lot of money while saving an entire gold bracelet. And let's be honest, it didn't work at first. It really did not work at first. None of us were falling for that bullshit. None of us were. And none of us did. Fast forward, how many years have they made that Oyster Flex now? Fast forward 8 years, and Oyster Flex fever. Oyster Flex fever by the sheer lack of models being available. So Oyster Flex has always strictly been precious metals. They're not going to change that. So I think Tom did call it right. They are going to come out with an Oyster Flex Submariner, and it's going to be I think it's going to be a rose gold Excelsior, Rolex Excelsior, rose gold Submariner on an Oyster Flex, redesigned case, slimmed down to fit the Oyster Flex strap appropriately. It's going to more or less fall in line with the lugs and case dimensions probably of the Yachtmaster on the Oyster Flex. I would imagine it wouldn't exceed those dimensions too much. That's what I see coming. Is it going to be a sub or a sub date? I think they'll make it a sub date. I don't think it'll just be a no date Submariner. I think it'll be a sub date. So I was, my own personal prediction was that they're going to come out with a Hulk no date, a Hulk Submariner. That was my prediction, that they were going to come out with a Hulk Submariner. I was suggesting that they might come out with it first in white gold to introduce the new case and the new movement and not introduce it in steel. And I figured they'd have one special model, a Hulk no date in white gold. So Hulk white gold no date is my sole prediction. Tom A and mine jointly came up with the thought of the Submariner on an Oyster Flex fully on his own. And then I threw the twist in there and reminded him that it's got to be a precious metal. So I really think he called it right on that one, Tom. I really think you called it right. Oyster Flex Submariner, just in precious metal. And yeah. Who would buy that Submariner? Oh, who's that? We have a new troll in the house. Okay. I thought I saw BlueShirt here. Aren't you a moderator? I don't have my YouTube window up. Okay, let me see if I can do something. That's why I heard an echo, because my other YouTube window is on. Okay, here, hold on a second. You guys are going to make me work. Oh, somebody's already taking care of it. Let me just take care of it completely. Oh, somebody already did. All right. Thank you. Okay. Thanks, Weekday. Okay. So, anyway, so big watch moves, man. I got to tell you, some of these guys are in the house are making some big watch moves. So before I talk about myself, let's talk about some of the other players in the watch community, since none of them seem to have the time to join me to come on. And you know why that is? That's because, man, they're hard workers. They're hard workers and they're working hard. And that's why they can afford to flex. And hey, I know how it is, man. I know how it is, because I used to be there. I used to be there. And my problem is now is that I still think I'm there, and I still pretend I'm there, and I still ball out like I'm there. So, you know, that's Rich Buddy's own personal problem and dilemma. So, and I think a lot of you guys who personally have gotten to know me kind of know that's my position right now. So cheers. What you gonna do, man? You know, you got to grow into your position. And that's what I think. I mean, I got faded with an injury, but you know what? It's all good, because it's like the gross domestic product. It's like economics, right? It's economic expansion theory. So you have to spend more, loan more, go into more debt to grow the economy, and you work harder to fill those shoes or that box or that whatever you want to call it to fill. When Paul and I earlier were talking about a minimalist attitude, some people have a minimalist attitude. And he doesn't understand people with a minimalist attitude. Yeah, and I don't either, because I told him I'm with you, Paulie. I have a maximalist attitude, in the sense that I try to maximize everything, because I know you'll never make it to that maximum goal you're trying to get. But if you make it 50%, then you've probably achieved more than what you've strived for in that sense. And if you're a minimalist, then, I mean, what the hell do you got to strive for? Peanut butter and jelly? So, yeah. So always strive for the heavy hitters. It's got to hurt. Right, Blue Shirt?
Right. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm doing swell. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you feeling? You feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm feeling great, man.
Good.
I'm always feeling good, buddy.
Good.
Yep.
Good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Good to hear.
Yeah. So how's the Big Apple?
It's all right, man. It's all right. You know, it's too slowly, but it's slowly getting back to normal. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, it seems like we're regressing back here in California.
Yeah, you guys are getting it really. You're getting like round 2 again out there. That's really you in California and Florida, and some places in the South seem to be getting it really bad again.
You know, I'm going to throw my hands up in the air and admit that I have no clue what's going on whatsoever, because since I stopped talking about it on here, I literally stopped watching the news, watching reports of it. And I don't talk about anything I don't know about. So literally, I haven't even brought it up, because I don't know anything that's going on. All I know is that when I went to the Journe boutique Wednesday of last week, all the signs when you're entering Los Angeles County said, you know, you have to have your masks on, like when you leave the car. And it's when you're walking. As soon as you get out of your car, you have to have it on, or you'll be ticketed.
Wow. That it's not that bad here. I mean, you got to wear it when you're going into a store or a restaurant or something like that, but not as soon as you get out of your car.
And then I suppose on personal private property, everybody's minding their own rules.
Right.
Because when I went into the Journe boutique, they didn't have masks on in there, and
really,
yeah, and they were waiting to see what I was doing, and I came in with a mask, so he grabbed his mask real quick, you know.
Interesting.
And then when I took off my mask, he took off his mask. So he was just following whatever. He was following my lead to not offend me, I suppose, or whatever.
Okay.
Right.
So listen, official on-air congrats, man, on the big move. Good for you, man. Good for you. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you. As you can see by my background screen here, I think you guys might, unfortunately for all of you guys, you might be getting, you know, Journe.
That's okay.
Quite a bit coming all the time now. I'm sorry.
No worries.
I might have fallen in love with the brand, you know, with the man, the myth, the legend.
That's it.
The sales reps.
So they treated you nicely when you were in there?
Man, I feel like I'm the guy's buddy. Let's see. I should have it in the downloads, possibly. I've looked at 100 pictures of the dang thing. So what else is going on with you? Have you thought about, you know, I've got pieces I'm looking to get rid of. Have you, I know your latest piece is your Doxa. Have you thought about moving any pieces in anticipation of making any watch moves or anything?
Well, I got to get
on freeze right now with.
Yeah, I'm just on freeze right now. I was looking at my AD had a 16713, which is a two-tone GMT master. From the late 90s, sapphire. It's on a nice, good condition two-tone Jubilee, and I was thinking about maybe trading in my Explorer for it, but you know, I don't wear my Explorer that much anymore. But when I pop it on my wrist, I fall in love with it again. So. Yeah, I can't see getting rid of that, and so I'm on hold until I get my myself together, and you know, I'm back at work and putting money in the bank, and that all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, I don't see you getting rid of that Explorer. I'm kind of surprised you even contemplated that, but
yeah, I'll tell you the truth.
You're getting a little bored, maybe. That's all.
Yeah, that's all. The Explorer 2 Polar and my Docs are getting all my wrist time, and my Speedy, which I'm wearing today.
I'm wearing my Speedy too.
Right.
Yeah, I wore it all day today. I wore it to a lunch meeting with a friend, and I said to myself, man, he was wearing a Seiko. And yeah, you wonder about getting rid of those things, right?
Yeah.
You'll regret getting rid of your Polar, man.
Yeah, no. I would. The Polar is a keeper. This was my 214270, my Explorer 1.
Oh, the Explorer 1.
Yeah.
That's the one with the T-Rex hands?
With the T-Rex hands, yep.
Possible collector piece?
Possibly. They made it for 6 years.
That's short production for a Rolex.
Yeah. So it's possible. I mean, there's arguments. You know, I've seen arguments on both sides that some people say yes, some people say no. It's possible.
You know, the moves they're making on the watch designs and the watch materials are so substantial. Primarily, I'm speaking of the introduction of ceramic exterior components like the bezel,
correct,
and the rubber, like the rubber bezels on the Yacht Masters and the Oyster Flex bracelets they're coming up with now on pieces. These material changes, you know, do nothing but leave the potential for collectability.
Agreed.
From the prior the watches of prior of yesteryear. In addition, the watches of to build on that, the watches of yesteryear have less proprietary components and are easier to work on, which has a lot to say for when people are collecting going forward. For instance, Journe has specialized screws, for Christ's sake.
Right.
And nobody can open the dang watch except for FP Journe or one of his trained, somebody who's an authorized Journe center.
Yep.
I mean, right? I mean, specialized screws. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I know. Bill Sanders had to get his Chronomet Souverain serviced, and the Journe boutique in Manhattan wouldn't do it. They had to send it down to Miami and have them open it and service it.
Yeah.
So not even the boutiques are used. There it is. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning.
So, Geezer, I've considered the Havana Octolune, and here's the difference that I don't like about it. I'm in love with the manual wind case back of this watch. I'm not attracted to the automatic and the rotor of the automatic watch version of this. And also, it's not going to be a daily. So a watch of this tier and this caliber, I don't want to have to roll through the dates, wind through the dates. I just want to wind to the time, wind to the time, forward it to the time, and put it on, as opposed to cycling through dates and lunar phases and things like this. But the main reason was I prefer the gorgeous case back, which I'll bring that up in a little bit. Have you seen the case backs?
Yeah, we were looking at it the other day on the Discord, I think. Yeah, you had the two. You had the one with the automatic and one with the manual, and the case back for this watch is it's a much better view.
Yeah, let me see if I could pull that up.
As of course that you're going to get with a with a manual wind.
Yeah, let me see if I could pull those pictures up without pulling up the pictures of all of Weekday Sisters that he put up there so kindly.
But that is truly beautiful, man. Gorgeous watch.
Let's see, where did Mackenzie post those at? Let's see here. I'll find them here. Maybe under FP Journe. Talking watches.
And that's platinum, right?
Yes. I mean, I'm thrilled about that.
Yeah. That's your first platinum watch, right?
It is indeed my first platinum watch.
Cool.
I mean, yeah. I'm thrilled about that.
Yeah.
Do you have a platinum watch at this point?
I wish. I wish. No. Maybe one day.
Okay, so here it is. Let me save image. Octoluna. I've wanted a platinum watch. They are so expensive.
Yes. Ridiculously so.
And what's interesting is that Journe doesn't overcharge you for the difference in precious metals. So, for instance,
well, the platinum Daytona is what, 75?
Thank you. I mean,
it's gorgeous. It's got that ice blue dial. It's gorgeous.
Why did double the price?
Right.
Of a gold Daytona.
Right.
But Journe only charges a few $1,000s more than their gold case.
Right.
How much more? Gosh. You know what? Again, it's probably in an email because I think I asked him at one point. But you know what? Without wasting my time, I just want to say it's a few $1,000s, but not double the watch price.
Right. Right.
I mean, that's enough to know it's just a few $1,000s. So it was a few $1,000s more to get a platinum case instead of a gold case. And it was actually more money to get the Havana dial instead of the white dial. That was more of a differential than the platinum versus the gold. Believe that or not.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
So now I got the pictures here. If I can find a way to share them. Share. Okay, this is a lot harder than I thought. Kind of forgot. I lost my skills here.
Right. Yeah.
I lost my skills.
It's been a while.
So how do you take this from here to the desktop? Let me figure this out.
Yeah, you can't begrudge someone from, making a little bit of money on the difference between the gold and the platinum, but to bang you for double, that's just ridiculous.
Oh, we got it. Yeah, I mean, why does Rolex do that?
Because they can.
What are they doing?
Because they can and they don't care.
And especially platinum's half the price of gold. So where does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
You got, and a lot of people don't even realize that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the opposite. Platinum is half the price of gold, but they're charging double.
Right.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And and not only that, Nick, they charge more for steel than they do for gold. It's completely like when you go to Paddock or Journe or whoever, steel's the most expensive metal, followed by platinum, followed by gold.
Go figure.
It's wild, isn't it wild?
It's crazy. So precious metal references have a different rarity scale than precious metal. And that's just what it is. I mean, precious metal steel. So there's a category. There is a category, I suppose, called precious metal steel, and that's watches. I guess. I mean, look at the Nautiluses and Aquanauts and the steel Journes. I mean, they're ridiculous money.
Yeah. Okay, I thought I knew what I was doing, so I'm still working on this.
No worries, man.
Watches. And there it is. Now let me try to copy them in here. I did it. Right.
Yeah, that's good advice, Logan, not to bring any platinum watches near tractors.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We wouldn't want to do anything of the kind.
Yeah, but it's good, Rich, to, every couple of months, just take that trip down to the boutique and, just show the flag, say hello.
Right. I'm going to do that all the time. Yes.
It'll pay dividends.
Not only did I buy a watch pre-application acceptance of a Chronometra Blue 4 years ahead, but I also gave them a solid sale referral. I mean, in the bag, sold.
Yep.
I mean, how much more can you get? So
yep.
I told him, I said, hey, I said, it doesn't hurt to ask. I mean, I said, as a matter of fact, I got to ask, don't I? I said, I got to ask. I mean, bump me up on the Chronometra Blue for bringing in another sale to you, and for me buying another watch. I gotta ask. I mean, what am I going to be a stupid and not ask?
Right, of course.
So of course I gotta ask. So I said that in an email in a funny way like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course I gotta ask. What are you crazy? What am I not gonna ask? Don't I gotta ask? That's what I asked him. I said, don't I gotta ask you? Isn't that something I gotta ask you? So this is the back of the Octaluna.
Right.
And I guess it probably would have been better to show the front of it to know what we're, so people know what we're actually talking about and why we're showing the back. Like, what is this the back of? So hold on a second here. Because I have it right here as well. Easy peasy. Peasy easy. Oh, these shows are nice and quiet when it's just BlueShirt Buddah and I, aren't they? Okay. Okay. Well, good thing we didn't pull that picture.
We got a decent crowd here, 42.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, 42 people are watching.
I don't know if that 42, are you seeing that on the YouTube or
on YouTube?
Okay. So what does it say on the it says 43. Okay. So it doesn't tally up. I don't know if anybody's on the Periscope. Welcome to everyone on Periscope and all those other streams that I'm on.
Oh, wow. Cool, man. Super chat.
We're on all those other streams too. So let me just post that up there real quick. What streams we're on. There we go. Simulcast on YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, and I think Pro Streams isn't around no more, but we'll double check on that. And I am working on I have one collector corner, Spotify. I got to work on that. I'm going to do a collector's corner with Abdul. I promised him, and I'm not doing one with anybody else until I do it with him. And I really want, I think it's such a cool name of an episode and what I'm doing with it, Collector's Corner. I'm just not up to par to be like on par with all these things I want to create. So I'm trying, and it'll get there. But Collector's Corner is a series I want to create, and that I did create. And Zane was my first person. Did you see that I created on Spotify? Did you get to see where that was?
No,
see what it looks like?
I didn't.
It's kind of cool. So
you got a super chat.
Oh, I better do that before I lose them, because it loses them. The dang thing loses them. E.T. Did you see the new Rolex teaser for September 1st releases on their YouTube channel? I saw the Instagram one where it shows something coming up from the water. Does the YouTube one show anymore?
No, it's the same thing.
It's
7 seconds.
Thing? Yeah.
Yep.
We talked about that a little bit. What are your thoughts on that teaser, BlueShirt?
It's either a blue bezeled sub, or it could be the steel Yachtmaster. I mean, for sure they're gonna put the new movement in the sub. That's a given. But some people are thinking that maybe they're gonna do a black dial and blue bezel Submariner. I think the Yachtmaster, a 42 Yachtmaster in steel, I think is a given. And I still think that they're gonna discontinue the Hulk and put out a solid gold version of it. So people will go crazy over that.
Yeah, I think they're going to do a solid gold version of the Hulk, but I think it's going to be no date.
Okay. Yeah. Could be. You know, they're not going to do any.
Oyster Flex.
They could do an Oyster Flex. You know, they're not going to touch the Explorer 2 this year because the 50th anniversary is next year. So if they're going to change it, they'll do it next year. Some people are saying they might do a polar version of the Explorer 1. That's possible. But usually Rolex really limits lately, you know. They don't come out with a massive list of changes. They do one or two things, maybe 3 changes. That's it. So, well, we'll find out September 1st.
Yeah. So if you go to, if anybody is interested, on my YouTube homepage, up here in the right-hand corner, there's other links. And don't worry about that other channel. I'm probably just going to kill it. But right here, there's the little radio antenna. And if you click on the little radio antenna, it takes you to a link that just takes you to a whole bunch of radio platforms. And so here's the first one. And so it shows you here that it's on Breaker, Google, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Spotify. So I guess it spreads them to all these different platforms, and it's kind of cool. So this is audio only, and the show is designed to be as an audio cast. So when I broadcast this show, it was made with the intent to be an audio. So it's really cool. So you can go on here and just start it.
Cool. Very cool.
You know?
Yeah.
And so this is a series I want to do that will go on to all of the podcasts on here. And so it would be like, you know, Collector's Corner. And my first one was with Zane, which was a good one we did back in May. But I didn't. I guess I lost the page. Didn't come up here. It shows it here. Hold on. Stop screen. Share screen. Right there. See.
Oh, cool.
So when you hit the link, it brings you up to here, and you can listen to it on any of these platforms by clicking those links, or you can just listen to it right here. And there's the first one. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You could just,
cool,
you know. So yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah, I thought that would be neat. So as long as I do but I want that to be strict quality programming. And if you listen to that, that was a very professional interview type of podcast. And that's how I want those to be. Those collector corners are going to be very formal, one-on-one with the collector and his watches.
Excellent.
So Abdul will be the next one. And then after Abdul, I've already thought of the third person is going to be, it just slipped my mind.
Man, you should do Bud.
Yeah. I'll get. Of course, absolutely. But
because he's got a killer collection, as you know.
Yeah, of course. But who was it that I was? Oh man, and I wanted to. Oh.
And Patrick too. Another guy with
of course collection. I got all the guys, you know, but you know, everybody knows the guys already. I'll bring that. We'll do that eventually. I'll get to them eventually. Especially they've changed their watches a lot. There's been a lot of turnover, so people don't know what the hell they got.
Right.
But yeah, they of course they are, because those are the people that I'm trying to do, because they're we're going to talk about how they collect, what's their philosophy, their mentality behind it, strategy, watch collecting strategy, you know, how they started, things like that. And so so here's one of the collector corners I want to do besides Abdul is Chicago Spartan.
Oh yeah. Where's he been? He hasn't been around in a while.
I just got the email from him. Well, you know, he was sick with the COVID.
Oh no, I didn't know he had COVID.
Oh yeah, he was.
Oh, wow.
We almost lost him.
Oh no.
Yeah, we almost lost him. So, I thought we did lose him. And to be quite honest with you, after not hearing from him, so I sent him a serious email the other night saying, "Bro, like, did we lose you or what? You got to let me, the punters, know." And so he responded today, and he said, "Hey, Rich, I'm finally home after 2 months in the hospital.
Oh wow,
still rehabbing, but should be available to come on your live stream this week or next week. Just give me a couple hours notice, and I should be able to work it out. I've got one hell of a story to share with all of you."
Oh wow,
yeah, you know that he almost died. He was on a ventilator.
Wow.
For a good 8 or 9 days. and he had to get open heart surgery.
Oh no! Wow.
Yeah. He almost didn't
wow.
make it. He almost didn't make it.
What a good guy too. I hope he's doing well now.
Yeah, you remember him, right?
Yeah. Very cool guy.
He came on here a couple of times.
He did.
He's the guy. He's the young guy.
Yeah. He's very young.
He's got to be in his 30s.
Yeah.
And at the latest, the guy's 36. Man, he can't be older than 36.
Yeah. I think he's even younger than that.
Even younger, maybe 26. Yeah, I mean, I'm not kidding.
Yeah. He's like
29 years old or something.
Yeah, he's like around Mackenzie's age, I think. He's not much older.
Yeah, and he's the guy that had that date with the green dial that he had just gotten.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so he's a high roller. He's a baller.
Yep.
And you can see it doesn't matter where you at in your life. This virus is serious and can take you out. And that's going to be the show to shut everybody up that doesn't want to wear a mask and has a problem with the virus, because when you watch that show that's going to be coming up, it's going to knock the reality, up your ass, I guess I want to tell you.
Yep.
Because when you see that, I mean, what else is there to say?
There's nothing you can say.
Yeah.
Nothing you can say.
There's nothing you can say.
Nope.
About it. Yeah. So thank God he's okay now.
Yeah.
And
that's good news.
And what else? Yeah, I'm excited to hear his story too. We're all going to get to hear his story. And I'll make sure to announce it well ahead of time so you guys can all
please
watch
do.
it before I delete it. So let's see here. Oh yeah, the pictures. Hold on. Photos. Boy, I am really rusty. I used to be so quick at these things.
You just out of practice, that's all.
There it is. Okay, so this is the automatic version of the watch.
The Octaloon.
The Octaloon. I mean, it's a beautiful watch.
It is. You got the big date, and you have the moon phase on the bottom.
I wish I could flip it. Oh, I can.
Power reserve in small seconds. It's very nice.
Okay, I mean, I've looked this watch over and over and over, and I have my own criticisms of the watch that took me to the original simple dial without question. So if you remember my criticisms when I flip back to the other watch, I don't like the FP Journe marquee where it's at 3 o'clock. I prefer it at 12 o'clock. It looks cleaner. What's interesting is the power reserve here is at 9 o'clock, and on the simple dial, it's at 3 o'clock. And what's neat is that they use the center pivot of the power reserve is actually where the 3 is, sits on the 3 and takes the spot of the 3. So it's kind of a neat way how it fills that spot.
Yep.
And then, I mean, it just seems like on here that the date is just plopped in.
It is. It's where they had space.
Honestly, I think it would look better if it was a little bit more south to the left. Well, in this watch, you lose the Havana dial, in my opinion, and now you're buying the watch with complications. And
correct.
You got to like it as a whole. And then now, if we forget about that, and now we go to the back of the watch, this is the back of the watch. It's an automatic, which is fine because it's got a moon phase and all that. Who wants to deal with resetting that all the time?
Correct.
But automatic, large rotor. I'd like to find a picture with it flipped on the other side, but it was a little hard to do. But now if we go to the watch that I ordered, here's the back of the watch that I ordered, which is the same as the back as the Chronometra Blue, I believe. It's a manual wind here.
Yeah, I like that much better.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, you don't have to spin the rotor around to look what's underneath.
Nope.
That's the worst part about looking at those automatic watches. If you care about the case back, then why get an automatic watch if you're concerned about looking at the case back, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And then the front of this watch. Do I have a picture of the front of this watch? Oh yeah, we looked at the front of this watch. Was the screen share was right here. Yeah, so I mean, right away when you pull this up, you're drawn to the brown Havana dial spread evenly across the C.
Yep. Agreed.
And yeah, and there's no holes, no windows, no apertures breaking it.
Yeah, it's much cleaner looking, for sure.
Cleaner. And you see what I mean about the power reserve pivoting off the 3?
Yep, I do.
It's so natural.
Yep. Yeah, it's well integrated.
Well, beautiful, beautiful, well said. Same with the marquee, the FP Journe marquee. Well integrated.
Yep. Agreed.
And the whole theory of design where they shrink the numbers 7 and 8 for the power for the subdial, you lose that design effect in the other watch because they designed this watch and then the other watch they just threw other things on top of it. That's what happened, you know. They just rearranged this watch, but this was the original watch design. Yeah. And I agree with one of the punters that said he likes this one better than the Chronometra Blue. I mean, without seeing the Chronometra Blue and just in photos, I'll have to agree. I'm drawn to this one more than the blue myself personally.
Well, I mean, there are so few watches that have that color, have a brown dial, period. So it's distinctive looking. It's just.
That's an interesting point that you just made about that. Few watches with a brown dial.
There really aren't. Yeah. You know, you can. I mean, what you got a root beer, and you have VC just came out with some watches that had brown dials. You know, there was that only watch that Breguet did the Type 20 with a brown dial as an only watch last year. So there are not a lot of watches with brown dials.
Yeah, that's so
it's distinctive.
Very distinctive. Yeah, you're coming up with some great terminology there for this. Yeah, it is distinctive. So he had a rose gold case watch that I mean, it looked to be his own, but I think for some reason or another, he didn't want to admit that it was own because it looked well worn.
Okay.
So unless it's just a boutique watch that anybody there can just throw on, that might be the case.
Could be.
But because maybe people sometimes ask, can I see the Havana dial? Because it's the only other color they got besides the white or ivory or whatever. But he had it in rose gold, and boy, it was really overbearing. The brown on red, the red on brown, it was just so too much. This platinum case really offsets the brown dial a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah. So that's it, man. So they said it would take me about sometime in the next, like about 8 to 10 months or so, probably to get the watch.
Okay, that's not terrible.
No, and I mean, it's interesting that they told me that Paul might not even get his watch next year.
Another year.
I couldn't
That makes
believe that.
sense. But that makes sense. And then they're not making. How many of these are they going to make? Not that many.
Yeah, I mean, I really couldn't believe that, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I thought they said they would just make two and have them delivered at the same time, and we can party together.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah, that would have been cool, but nah, it makes sense. It's probably, you know, depending on how they assemble the watches. It's and how many stages it goes through. I'm sure it's not more than 3 or 4 people are working on the one watch to put it together. So it takes time. And they don't rush.
Right. They don't rush.
No.
Yeah, not hardly. What's the case size, Beauty? I don't remember the exact. Let me look it up. I mean, I think there's a half mixed in there somewhere. Let me just check. They make a bracelet version of this watch, but
That I didn't know.
that is crazy. It's 40 millimeter even. So it's a large watch. Look at the bracelet version.
Wow. So that's a platinum bracelet.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I don't even know how much this one costs, but McKinley sent me a link to the bracelet. You can buy the bracelet by itself. The MSRP on the bracelet alone was $56,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just for the bracelet.
Just for the bracelet.
Wow.
But to me, the this watch doesn't look. It only looks right like this.
Yes, I agree.
I don't see it with the look. There's even a gold bracelet. Look at this. The rose gold for the rose gold case. See.
Mm-hmm.
Look how much red on red. It's just really too much.
Yep.
But you know who loves that red on that color? All that. Bud loves that. He really
does.
He? Gosh, he loves those earth tone brown on browns. Like this one here, he really liked this one here.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I just thought it was too rich.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking for that contrast right there.
Yep.
And,
yeah, you got to have a little bit of pop.
Yeah, I think it just brightens it up a little bit.
Yep.
But hey, they obviously make this one because a lot of people like it.
Yeah, it's distinctive.
Nothing they make is ugly.
No.
So
no. They make gorgeous watches, nice and thin, well proportioned, stylish. Just not in your face, not ostentatious. Just classic beauty.
The strap is interesting that it's leather on both sides.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I've never felt a strap like that before.
Yeah.
I don't know what that wears like.
Croc on both sides. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to. It's not as comfortable as having the leather on the back, but the life of the strap is increased by doing it that way. Is
that the reasoning?
No, that's what I've read so far. That's one of the reasons why. Yeah. And it's more expensive because crocodile is more expensive than leather.
Oh, so they're actually having to line both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Is why it. Okay, I gotcha. So, but yeah,
stunning, Rich, stunning. No other word for it.
The you know what? That's what I thought. Underachieving watch collector. There's not much selection for that chronometra sovereign that I bought. It's either white dial, which seems to be the one everybody usually buys because you can't get the chronometra blue. And I mean, the Havana, you can get it, but there wasn't anybody getting it at my store. I was the only one asking for it. So until Paul and I walked in. So, I just have a feeling that to me, that dial and that specific watch and that dial is so pretty. I think it's an underappreciated Journe watch. And I just think that one day people will look back and appreciate it and will drive the price up on it,
Yeah, I can only see these watches appreciating in value. I don't see them, taking too big of a dip.
Logan, that's going to be me. I already joked about that. I'm going to have 5 identical FP Journes, man. I'm going to be the one. I'm going to be the one because I'll tell you what. I already said that after I get the blue, which is identical to this practically, it just doesn't have a power reserve. It's even less simple. It's a 3-hander. After I get that, I'm going to actually try to solicit them for the boutique black dial. So you can't get the black dial boutique unless you have a Journe watch already purchased directly from a boutique. So I know for a fact my third watch is going to, after the blue, I will get a black piece.
Okay.
100%. And it might be another sovereign. So I'll have 3.
Have you ever looked at the that's the other one called?
The chronometer resonance?
Yeah, the resonance, right.
The time only, the most complicated time only watch ever made. Okay, so he tried to sell me that watch. He said, well, since you're a time only guy, why don't you get the most complicated time only watch? He says that's more complicated than any of his other watches, and it's just a time only.
Yeah.
Journe said, I'm going to figure out how to make the simplest time watch the most complicated watch ever. And that's what he set out and did with that watch.
Yeah. Well, it's just amazing that, you get the one case with 2 movements in it, and you zero it, and it takes a couple of minutes, but then they actually beat together just naturally. They fall in and they work in harmony together. It's just an amazing thing. Bill Sanders has one, and I saw he wore his not last year, but the year before to Watch Time, and I saw it's a stunning watch.
Oh, you're talking about the dual resonance.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about a different watch, but yeah, that watch is beautiful. I like that watch too.
That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. This watch here, let me see if I can pull it up on the site.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. You got to get Geezer on here one day, Rich, and talk Journe with him.
Heck yeah. Okay, so this one here, this is called the Chronometra Optimum. This is a time-only watch, and I guess it's considered the most complicated time-only watch.
Okay, this is the one he tried to tell you.
He said if you just want a time-only, simple time, you don't like any complications, but you want to be the bad boy on the block. He said this is Journe. I think he said this is Journe's. Geezer might be able to answer this, but I think he told me this is Journe's most complicated watch, and it's a simple time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he made it go through so many, what do they call it? Rube Goldberg experiments or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He made it go through so many, mouse traps and things to make the time happen. It's a very complicated watch.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, it's it's about $80,000, and it's just a time only with a power reserve.
Is it deadbeat seconds?
I don't think.
Geezer would know. This is way above my pay grade.
But
it's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, this could be something, who knows, down the road, down the ways, when fortunes are made and empires are conquered, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
It could be one of those things you dream about, but I really didn't know too much about this until he kind of tried to turn me on to it. But, my eyes only steer to my pay grade, like you said. I mean, I'm only looking at their entry level pieces,
Yep.
Which is fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
absolutely.
happy.
One step at a time.
You look at all my watch collection, it's all simple time watch movements, watch anyway. I was drawn into complications. I don't use the damn chronograph. I don't use anything. Do you?
No, I don't.
Other than the date?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah. So in a way, they're a waste of money. I mean, why not just buy more time watches?
Yeah.
No complications, and rather than spending $1 trillion on one watch with a bunch of complications you're never going to use.
Yeah, no, it's a valid point. It's a valid point.
And if you're into spending money and that's all you want to do, and you just want to buy a watch with complications because it costs more money, then move into higher horology and buy simple time.
Okay. Yeah.
H. Moser, FP Journe, one of these. Go up the pay grade.
Geezer's confirm any. Yeah, it's deadbeat seconds.
Gotcha. So there you go. The guy put every complicated, Rube Goldberg in it. You know what I mean? To make it go through all its obstacles to arrive at the correct time is what I take it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Underachieving. There's nothing entry level about Journe.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, entry level is technically the Chronometra Blue.
Yeah.
That's and if you want to go next step, it would be the white dial of the watch that I bought, because the brown dial costs significantly more and the platinum costs significantly more. So I guess you could say that even more entry level, right above the blue, would be a rose gold white dial. And then once you start adding platinum and brown dial, now maybe you're one step above entry level, because now you've added $10,000 to the watch. But I guess the Sovereign, that entire line in my mind would be the entry level version. I suppose it would be like the Calatrava. If you're gonna, keep it all time only. I mean, yeah. So anyway, that's the big play, man. I'm just excited about it.
Cool.
The GMT2 fell through.
Yep.
Which is a beautiful watch. The part of me is okay with the fact that it fell through, because I got my black sub date, my first Rolex back, which was gone for the trade-in. And now I was gonna cry that I was giving away my first watch after it was gone, to be honest.
Okay.
And when it was coming back to me, I was like waiting for it. Like, where's it at? Where's it at? Why didn't you overnight it? Why didn't you send it today? Where's my watch at? Where is it? I started freaking out. So that told me and solidified the fact that oh boy, man, you almost blew it selling your first Rolex.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't know you had the emotional attachment to it until it was gone, and now it worked out for the best. So you got it back.
Right. And so so now in turn I get my Rolex sub date, my first watch back, and a Journe Havana instead of a highly collectible Rolex GMT2.
Okay.
Trade-offs.
Absolutely.
Trade-offs.
Okay.
Anyway.
But that's either way, this is a little bit more distinctive because you don't see a lot of Journes out there. So
yeah, so don't sell your Explorer one.
Yeah,
at least think about it longer.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm not doing anything now. Period.
Yeah.
So
I guess think about like my Rolex sub date. If it had a lot of years and some memories attached to it and it's worth keeping, then keep it. If not, I can see maybe you can get rid of it.
Like I said earlier, I don't wear it for a while, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not really gonna miss it. And then I put it on, and then I fall in love with it again, and I'm like, yeah, no, I can't get rid of this.
Yeah, and then when you're thinking about selling it, wear it for a couple of weeks straight, and that also helps you kind of decide. Like right now, I'm wearing my Omega 68 because I've been talking about selling it, and so now I'm forcing myself to wear it to reckon with that thought, whether I should do it or not. So I'm playing with that now.
Well, that's cool.
But anyway, any other thoughts?
Nah, man. Nah. Just like everybody else, just waiting for next Tuesday and see what our friends from Geneva have in store for us.
That's going to be exciting. I'll be live streaming all day about it.
Oh, cool.
When they definitely, man, when they come out with something that day, I'll be sure to hop on the tube and I'll want to get half a dozen guys on here and we'll yap about it.
I made an appointment with my AD for the minute they open on next Tuesday. So if there's anything there, which I doubt there will be, but if there is, I'll let you know and I'll take some pictures.
Okay. So you think there's a possibility they could actually have something in the store and then
who knows?
Yeah, right?
Who knows? I mean, they did it with Tudor. So
oh my gosh. So I just got to be there on the 1st. I'm going to do the same thing then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with my AD, there's still it's by appointment only. You can't just walk into the store. So I made the appointment. They open at 10 a.m. So I'm the first appointment.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm hoping that there's going to be something there, but you never know.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Bud just joined, bro, but I can't go any longer. Bud, I'm gonna call you, bro. I'll just call you and we'll talk. Because I can't go on any longer, bro.
No worries, Rich. No worries.
Done. I went 23 minutes, 24 minutes over my limit, and I'm feeling it. And I promised myself, I won't be able to live stream if I do these, so I have to cut it. Okay.
But I'll talk to you the next time, bud.
So thanks for coming on, BlueShirt. Bud, I'll call you. I'm going to call you as soon as we cut out, bro. You know what? Stay on. Don't go nowhere, bud. Don't go nowhere. I'm going to end the show and stay on, bud. Okay.
Take care, everybody.
Right. Okay. Thank you guys for joining. It was nice coming back on here, talking to everybody and having a watch show. And thanks for BlueShirt. Appreciate you coming on here, chatting with me. And
no problem.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.
Take care.
Okay. Peace.